Gabi Demartino has been in some online drama over the years, and recently her and her sister Nikki sat down for a podcast episode and discussed their journey online, specifically Gabi's, how her cancellation might have changed her for the better, and what her thoughts are on the situation looking back. If you remember, back in 2020, Gabi was called out and suspended from OnlyFans after she posted a home video of herself as a kid with the caption, "Won't put my panties on," which was a quote from the video. She claimed it was an innocent video and she was just trying to be funny, but the reality of the situation was that she had gotten people to purchase this video of a kid on an adult platform, and it was just, well, it was bad. At the time, Nikki had come out and said she was horrified by what had happened and her family was in crisis. After the scandal, Gabi claimed that she was going to be making a change. She took a break from the internet, and when she returned, she seemed super somber and she wanted to leave behind her fancy vlogs by Gab, and she also wanted to stop being materialistic. She tried to do a rebrand and even changed her channel name as well, but since then she has changed it back to Fancy Vlogs by Gab. But she's claiming that she really did make a change after her cancellation, and there's actually much more that went on behind the scenes during this time. Like I said, Nikki and Gabi recently decided to sit down and talk about this period of their life, and Gabi said that during this, she realized there were a lot of things about her relationship at the time that was wrong, and she just wasn't in a good place or surrounded by good people. At the time of her scandal, Gabi had just gotten engaged, and it was actually one of the happiest times of her life, but it was also a nightmare. Her cancellation seemed to be a huge wake-up call to her in more ways than one, and she claims that she realized during that time that she hadn't been a good person. She was in a very bad place personally and online.
I was filling a void for
with the wrong
years
thing.
with shopping or instant gratification of a yes man partner or someone who wasn't going to call me out for my Like, I just, had distractions surrounding me for years. And, with success and money, it was so easy to just, not face my problems and to just distract myself. So when I was forced into the hardest of years of my entire life and depression, I grew. I became, a human again. I felt like the humanity in me didn't exist. I didn't realize I was so cold and so I was so thick-headed.
Since the scandal, Gabi and her fiance Colin had called off their wedding. And throughout the podcast episode, we kind of hear why things didn't work out with the two of them. Nikki even admits that she feels like a lot of what was wrong with Gabi during the time of her cancellation and prior to it, Gabi had not surrounded herself with people that were going to tell her no, people that were going to hold her accountable. She had a bunch of yes men around her and they just let her act how she wanted and she got away with it. And it ultimately led up to her posting what she posted and thinking that it was no big deal when it really was a big deal. And that was something that really smacked her in the face and was so public.
Your last relationship, I wanted that partnership and fun because I could tell you guys were best friends. I could tell that you weren't being told when you were being wrong. Mm-hmm. And I think you wouldn't have done a lot of the things you did if you had actual people around you that weren't scared to tell you how they really felt. And I think people were around you and they were just trying to make Gabi happy at all times. And you can't grow in that kind of an environment.
People in the comments did have things to say about this, saying low-key felt like blame was being put on Colin for not putting his foot down with Gabi. Maybe he was worried how she reacted if he wasn't going along with whatever she said and wanted. And probably, Nikki saying that she couldn't get through to Gabi, and she tried many times to tell Gabi that she needed to change and don't do this, but Gabi wouldn't listen. So probably if Colin said anything, she probably wouldn't have listened either. This was kind of the big debate of the video and what people's reactions were, whether or not they felt like Gabi was taking proper accountability for her actions in her past, and whether or not she was trying to push blame on somebody else for why she acted the way that she did and why she was canceled. I do think that she does admit to being a not so great person in this video, and she does admit a lot of faults, but I know that some people have been a little bit I don't know about this, mostly also because her apology video for the OnlyFans thing is not on her channel anymore, but This is what the two of them had to say in terms of what place Gabi was in at that time and what made her wake up and realize she needed to bring changes into her life and why it was so necessary.
What you went through was like very hard to watch. It was really hard to like watch her learn the hard way. You never want to see someone learn the hard way. A really hard lesson. But I kept trying to get through to Gabi. Everyone kept trying to get through to Gabi, but everyone has their own journey. And I don't think she would have actually learned, like, and got back her morals if she wasn't thrown on the pavement. Sometimes that's really how people learn.
Gabi admitted that there were multiple things going on in her life that made her want to reevaluate how she was living and what she prioritized, and she really needed to hit rock bottom in order to see this new version of herself.
And sometimes God's like, okay, I'm gonna let you get drunk at your engagement party with your family and fuck up in front of the whole world because you need to change.
She claims that as a result of everything, she is in a better place now, and Nikki thinks that she's just an overall better person compared to what she was like before, when life was about her and only her, and she didn't really consider how her decisions would affect other people before.
And it sucked that you had to go through that, but this version of Gabi is so much more likable.
And I have like the greatest people around me now. Like, I felt like that whole situation was just like a whole filtration system.
Gabi says this all made her want to change, not only just herself, but her content on social media. She's always been known to buy these crazy, expensive, lavish items and flaunt them online, but she doesn't want to be doing that anymore. She says she only bought all those things to fill a void in her life, and she just isn't in that place anymore. So she wants her content to reflect where she's at in her mental health, and she wants to give back positivity and only be posting things that give off good vibes.
I made a vow to myself that from here on out, I will not release anything to my platform that isn't positive, inspirational, and light. I wanted to turn my platform into, let's do what makes me happy, like dresses and vintage and pink and, mental health, speaking on things that I never used to talk about.
Honestly, when she first got canceled and she was trying not to be this whole fancy vlogs by Gab persona with all these materialistic items, I didn't really know if that was going to keep up. But she's claiming now, like 2 years later, that she really is still trying to live up to what she said then, that she isn't as materialistic. She is doing smarter things with her money, and it's all benefiting her in the end.
That was me when I was empty and I didn't have any goals. My only goal was to buy like a $7,000 bag or designer item every month. Now that I'm pursuing music, I don't even think about buying those things because I have goals. I have to pay for a music manager and a publicist and flights and an LA apartment lease. And I'm like, wow, I have goals. Like, I didn't have goals back then.
Now, don't get it twisted. She still obviously owns a lot of lavish, nice luxury items, and she does splurge here and there. She isn't just cutting out that aspect of her life. She's just saying that she's not doing it as much because she does address that people have called her out and said, hey, I see you still buying this and splurging here and that. And she just says life is a little bit more balanced now.
Nothing's worse energy than like being so hyper-focused on materials. And to this day, people eat me alive. They're like, oh, Gabi flies here and there and stays in all these nice hotels and still buys bags. No, but there's still no one sees my back end. I have a very, very good equal life. Like it used to be all just that.
So clearly Gabi is trying to say that she has learned and she's better and would never do what she's done in the past again. And I will say she has been rather quiet since the scandal and hasn't caused much drama online. I think her and Nikki really are just doing their own thing and trying not to make waves. Obviously, given Gabi's past, there's a lot of opinions about her, and it's clear from their comment section, but people do think that them having an open conversation about what's gone on is big of them. But I certainly want to know what you guys think about all of this, because it's been a whole ride with Gabi. How do you guys feel about what she had to say in regards to her cancellation being necessary to change her as a person? Have you guys noticed this change? Let me know in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.